Alright. Let's see here. Just getting started, not many people on the stream. Just Riki Kirky. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Riku. Hello, Riku. I'm sure other people will join. And as they do, I'll work through playing. Uh-oh. I've been having this issue already. Sometimes the controller does not sync, so I gotta see if I can get that fixed. There we go. Alright, time to go back into the story mode. Let's see if I can pick up where I left off and actually not completely fail at this. I'm gonna take the difficulty back to hard. Mainly because there are not as many checkpoints. I don't want to spend as much time repeating the same stuff. So I'm gonna, for the sake of brevity, I'm gonna make this a little bit more simple, even though I think it's more fun playing on the difficult setting. And I swear I'm not being completely lazy on a Saturday. I actually just finished filming a review.
The snow is already falling on Valkenheim.
We saw that already.
Golden Cross.
So I just finished a review.
Blackstone Vanguard
for,
fell to me.
Let's see.
To lead the way.
Sorry, trying to remember exactly what I was doing in this level. I just finished a review for the Black Horse Blade Fader. And so with that review done, in terms of filming, I'll be editing it later.
What we have been hoping for. They know we're here. Keep moving. Be brave.
Oh, come on. So I'm actually planning on doing this live stream for a bit longer than I was doing it the other day. I imagine I'll actually play for a couple hours here. So if you have chores to go do, Romeo, feel free. Go do your chores. Don't let me hold you up from real life things.
Have no fear.
Hello, everyone. 9 people watching at this point. Oop, that was not my buddy. Heal. One of my problems is I always think of myself as being one of the blue characters, not one of the
entrance to Valkenheim. Out of my way.
I'm also planning on doing quite a few videos this weekend.
savages.
We're off of just talking
Those
about For Honor. I've been
catapults
doing that a
need to be
lot.
shut down.
Doing a lot of For Honor and a lot of unboxing this week. Trying to get back to some of the other content. But I have the review. I have a random rambling I'll probably do. Maybe a few other things I'll be working on.
It wasn't a good plan. It was just my only option.
And the shrewd prune rightly.
I need to take out that catapult. Time to shut down those catapults.
Have another game as well that I'll probably be live streaming and doing a let's play of in a couple of weeks. One I've been really looking forward to, and that is the new game based on the Berserk anime. I'm not much of an anime person much anymore. I used to watch a lot of it back in the day, but Berserk is still one of my favorites. So I really want to play the game that comes with that. It's a kind of hack and slash game, not too dissimilar in some ways from this, but oh, that's fun. I was caught in a in a cutscene for killing them, and
those catapults needed to be shut
Thankfully,
down.
I have this checkpoint. I'm gonna get off the ice, I think is what I'm gonna have to do here. Yeah, I'm looking really forward to the Berserk game. Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance should be a good game. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm gonna keep the catapult. So I'm gonna use it right here.
I'll give
I
this
forget that's
to
not the
the
catapult. Always forget that.
They're big. It's cold. Yeshua.
So I'll tell you my thoughts on this game as I've been playing it. If I were to do a review of it, which I don't think I will do reviews at this point. I'm not sure if I'm interested enough in doing that. Is that the combat can become a little bit samey. Hard to talk and play at the same time. There we go. That was the part I had trouble getting past earlier.
Vanguard.
Combat can become a little bit samey, but having the various class helps. This is a game that's more fun to play with people, especially for the online multiplayer. If you have a friend, I would highly suggest playing with a friend. Just in general. Yeah, get off the ice indeed. Throw people into water. Quick way to win a fight. The other thing that I'm not too keen on right now in terms of the multiplayer is the community of players.
We were prepared for this place.
A lot of kind of house rules that people want to abide by, but it's kind of a crapshoot whether or not they actually will. Well, that was just silly. What is that? That's not a thing.
The Vikings had numbers. We had technology.
They had technology. That's well, that's definitely very fantasy of them, I'll have to say. Very fantasy, that siege engine. But the house rules that people want to play by is kind of strange. Especially when you're doing small brawls, people want to do one-on-one, so you don't double team people because it's kind of considered unfair. But at the same time, whether or not someone will actually do that is an unknown. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, how do you play the game in terms of being fair to the other players? I've also seen a lot of people who just are rude when it comes to them losing, very sore losers online. Oh dear. Don't run into the catapult. So having sore losers kind of stinks as well, because it ruins the gameplay experience to some extent. People complaining because they've lost. Why don't you play better, you know? It's...
We're pushing them back! Will
You guys took two guys out, one small hit there. But the single-player campaign also seems to be really mainly focused on what is essentially the same thing as the online combat, is just with kind of a mediocre plot at this point. A little bit of cutscenes here and there. Alright, so I need to lower the drawbridge, so let me... find out where I'm supposed to go. I think it's downstairs, actually. Which is weird. I want this catapult. Yeah, get good, right? Kind of the Dark Souls approach. Alright, so my drawbridge over here. I should be really paying attention more to the notifications on the screen, but I've honestly been ignoring them.
They're falling back to defend! We're pushing them back!
Alright, so drawbridge down. Right? I'm not going to pretend like this game is realistic. Swords will go through walls and whatnot. It's alright. Heals. Down. Alright, need to still lower the drawbridge. What am I not doing here? I thought I did that. Oh, I have to hold down B, I see. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I'm sorry that I am in kind of a terrible... Oh man, what happened?
We couldn't
terrible
leave a
internet
force
connection
behind to guard the prisoners.
Hold.
Master, this beast killed at least 40 soldiers, including Davis.
Do you know how to tell a predator from prey? You can't, of course. Unless you see them in war. $40. Well done.
I had thought that her laws of selection only applied to us.
So tell me, everyone on chat right now, what are you thinking of this game so far? What are your thoughts? Has anyone played it? What are your thoughts as having played it?
We needed to reach the fortress
Watching
at Vanguard before the Vikings had a chance to respond. But at the great cliff that splits the valley in half, we found our way forward blocked. Fortunately, we had a Peacekeeper, Mercy, among our ranks.
When wars end, it is the silent blade that keeps the peace. But when wars rage, a peacekeeper's work is never done. Quick, lethal, they can win a fight before their enemy even knows they are there. Dancers of death, with dual blades for dancing partners. What they know can destroy legends. Or create them.
This would be my other criticism of the campaign, is that it seems like the campaigns are really just introductions for the various classes. Which I think is okay, but I'd almost prefer there to be, I don't know, something a little bit more. I don't really know how to describe it, but I do feel like it's a little bit disappointing.
Our army needed passage. The Warborn can be creative when they want to be.
So this is one of the classes where you can't stay in a guard, you have to move towards it quickly. But I've also noticed that this is one of the few classes that is really stinking brutal in terms of trying to fight against them, because they're so quick and they can do so much so quickly. And their ability to not stay in a guard means that you have a hard time actually reading what they're going to be doing, and you really have to pay attention to the indications on screen.
Apollyon asked me to clear the way, so of course I obeyed.
Which, of course, if you go into a more difficult mode...
This path is much like I remember it.
Boy, I'm having trouble. So, heal. My goodness, there's a lot of enemies fight me all at once. One down. There we go. And another heal. Give me just a second.
Service is life. Service is life.
All right. This is actually probably, honestly, one of my least favorite classes to play. I don't mind the speed, but the gameplay is not my favorite.
These Vikings should be more vigilant.
I keep thinking that's a catapult and it's just a stun thing. I don't know what it is about that.
There used to be more Vikings here.
Revenge mode here. This power up. Attacks will fill the revenge meter. Oh, it's a passive. That's
Volcano's
kind of
cloud
nice.
has withered this place.
Now with a
So much has changed in so little time.
I know I'm a very, very quiet live streamer here, not talking a lot. My goodness, this is just a lot of fighting, isn't it? I guess the other guy just died. Who knows? Seems like this is also multiple paths as an option here.
Apollyon was right. The cold is keeping the Warborn at bay.
not entirely certain exactly how I'm supposed to get to the outpost other than just running and fighting all of these guys. Another big complaint I actually have about this game in general is it is a little bit cheap to just throw people off walls, throw people into water. You kind of do it because you have to, but it feels a little bit cheap, especially when you're playing. Especially when you're playing a person in multiplayer. I don't mind so much for the campaign.
That Warden is a decent person.
But certainly it just feels cheap. Alright, I think I just ran a circle here, so I'm gonna try to work my way up this way. Go. So I think I need to get up onto that ramp, which is available that way. So I do need to go over here. Yeah, playing this actually makes me really excited for
Doubt is death.
Kingdom Come
Doubt is
Deliverance.
death.
Because I think I'd like a game that does take the combat a little bit more historically accurate. I think it'll be a lot of fun to have that. That can't be right. But when I finally do get to play that kind of historically accurate combat, I think I'm going to really enjoy it. Must be missing something here. I feel like I'm doing a lot of backtracking. Oh, I'm sure this is fun to watch. Hey, look, pots I can break. That's another staple for Ubisoft. Just randomly requiring you to constantly go find things to break and discover. As if that's considered gameplay. Alright, I gotta be missing something here. Something really obvious. What is it?
Holden has lost his way. It's sad.
Oh, it's the obvious ladder. There we go. That's what I needed. Yelling "Hurrah" when swinging, yeah.
Like us, most of the Vikings don't even know their own history.
You know, I mean, there's something to be said for the exertion.
Still beautiful here.
And of course, as soon as I did it, I got thrown into the fire. That's wonderful. I do like that these missions kind of tailored to the strengths of the classes that you're playing. You know, this is much more one-on-one fighting with multiple enemies, so it's using your speed, whereas the other one had a lot of little peons that you fought against. Go. So this one, you know, makes you get used to combat against stronger foes. I also feel like the camera in this game gets a little bit claustrophobic periodically. It's a little bit too close to the screen. It's hard to see what's going on. All right. Keep working my way up here.
This cold will claim Legion lives.
That was kind of there we go. Side path.
I had an idea.
Counterweight sabotaged.
Getting inside was easier than I expected.
I think I got a really big fight here. About to happen. Yep. Go. Alright. Boy, this is just a lot of fighting.
I should pull that one, I think.
In general, it's also good to not get surrounded with enemies.
you suppose that does?
Alright. Got this last guy here. Boy, that was a lot.
What
Still
would
another guy.
happen if I pulled that lever? Now where's the central mechanism?
Alright.
If I understood this contraption, raising the elevator now should prove exciting.
I'm getting an idea.
Just needed one more push.
Path's clear.
Impressive. Don't encourage her.
See, that's actually really satisfying to kind of end it that way. Like, you know, you're sneaking around, but then you completely destroy something in the most obscene way. It's actually kind of entertaining. So, I kind of like that. That's pretty good. Let's see here. What class do I get to play next, I wonder?
The fortress of Vanguard. My goal. For too long, the true warriors among the Vikings had been held back by the chains of social bonds, of kin, of law. Now we would knock down their gate and return their world to its rightful order.
Oh, good. I get to be the Warden again. So I'm really enjoying the Warden, I think, the most. Not just because it's a big sword, but I like the fighting style for it, and I've learned the combat fairly well for the Warden. But honestly, the game as a whole, again, it really doesn't matter what class you play. It's kind of strictly the same gameplay, just small variations, small tweaks between how they play and exactly what they can do.
I had questions. Master, why this fortress? It looks like it's just a storehouse.
It is. And that's why we're here. These barbarians. They seem like they're good people. They embrace each other like they were all kin. But that is all a lie. When night falls, they stab each other with their knives. If there are wolves among them, should we not set them free?
Now I had new questions. Ones that were much harder to answer.
Catapults! Keep the rest!
skeptic was a death sentence. But doubt is a part of integrity.
You'll have a harder time.
Protect the ram. Alright.
Our lives for the crew!
Well, the ram is getting damaged really quickly.
The enemy's hunkering down!
I'm not entirely certain what I'm supposed to be doing here.
There's nothing I can do except protect the ram. And hope.
I must have missed something. I'll try to see exactly what's happening. It seems like there's a catapult destroying the ram, so...
was a death sentence.
There's this guy, though.
But doubt is a part of integrity.
You'll have a harder time.
There must be enemies that come up from behind in these cases. That must be what happened there.
There was nothing I could do except protect the ram. And hope.
This guy. Yeah, that's what's happening.
They're attacking the crew!
Great. Everyone's favorite gameplay style. Escort missions. Really? Oh, there is someone attacking. I think there was.
Breach the crew! We were deep in enemy territory. There was no way home but forward.
Yeah, from like a visual standpoint, the armor in this game responding to Azkamuski. This is how you say that. Sorry, I'm having to glance at the last second. Yeah, the armor in this game, from a fantasy perspective, I think they do a pretty halfway decent job of making it look nice. You know, it's very fantasy, but that is what it is.
They're giving ground!
Don't let it stop!
A lot of hits in a row there.
Protect the ram! Keep it moving!
In some ways, I think this game would have really benefited from having a gameplay style a bit more like maybe mixing up the way that Batman Arkham Asylum works. So you kind of have like moves that you do when you're locked on versus moves that you do when you're just kind of fighting in general hack and slash.
They're retreating!
The ram can't take much of that!
Still fighting? Oh, oh. Go. Oh, wonderful spinning moves going on here. Get that momentum up for those fantasy strikes.
They're killing the crew!
Right here, kind of the Batman Arkham approach to fighting would have been really cool. Seems a lot more mundane than that, but it would have been nice. Let's see.
The crew needs me. We needed to protect and operate the ram until we broke through.
I think this is going to lead to a boss fight here. A really big spear.
Gudmundur, this fort's legendary Jarl.
My goodness. Wow, he is invulnerable to things. Alright, good to know. Gotta parry him.
On your feet.
Can't have honor from not playing Vikings as a Viking. Well, I'll get that soon.
Duel with the Vikings. Wasn't that why we came in the first place? It was hardly my first time sacking a fortress. Why did it bother me?
The next campaign bit, I think, is actually playing as the Vikings.
I knew it. There's no garrison here.
Oh, that's how you lose. I was trying to do something specific, and I probably shouldn't have.
We were in. That spelled doom for the Vikings. Wasn't that why we came in the first place?
Burn everything down.
It was hardly my first time sacking a fortress. Why did it bother me?
Fighting.
There we go. Weird how it can be easier sometimes and then more difficult sometimes. Alright, let's move in.
Fortune in heaven eats. Now with aim. Colin Cormouth Hay.
Who are we fighting?
Multiple small holes instead of a slit, a viable design. I had to pay more attention to the helmet. I didn't really pay that close attention.
Prepare to die!
Wow. Alright, lots of dogs to fight. External block. I think I'm supposed to just fight this guy. Wow, this is gonna be difficult. I think I'm gonna need to kill these dogs.
Give up. Your people do not need to suffer.
Whoa, the camera did something really weird just then.
Your legend precedes you, Gudmundur.
My goodness. I have to pay more attention to what these dogs are doing. Okay, that makes more sense. They're really trying to force you in this section to pay attention to directions so you can kill all the dogs. More dogs.
You're strong, Gudmundur.
There we go. No, Travis, you've not missed much. Me failing a couple times here and there. Yeah, Romeo, so much for getting sponsored by PETA. Yeah, I always actually, so I really like animals. Even in video games, I feel bad killing animals.
I know now what haunted me that day.
Do our time right here!
I'm sworn to the Blackstones.
On the wrong side.
You fought well.
To hell with you!
Mercy. Why are we here? I think you know.
Famine. This place houses their seed grain. There will be no new harvest. By winter, they will be killing each other over what little food is left.
I took an oath to fight for peace. So did you. All of you.
Hey. This food. Why are we not burning it all?
What do you imagine the clans would do if we burned it all?
They'd starve. Die.
They would unite. But leave them scraps. Just enough for 2, maybe 3 clans. They will fight each other over what remains. The wolves among them will rise. We're not here to kill them. We are here to teach them who they are. To set them free. Time to go home.
So yeah, I think the round holes on the eyepiece of her helmet is viable. You actually see stuff like that in old gladiatorial style helmets, the Roman era. And yes, Travis, I do feel bad for that Viking as well. It's one of those things where, you know, war is being brought to them, not of their own doing. Wow, I got a lot of rewards apparently. Okay, it's just repeating. So that mission actually made me more interested in the plot, in all honesty. It's beginning to pick up all of a sudden.
It did not take long for my lesson to spread across the whole of Valkenheim. But in the following winter, a lone raider rose among the clan known as the Warborn. That raider set out to reunite their people.
Alright, the stream now has 25 people watching. We are moving on to Chapter 2, where we play as the Vikings.
Sometimes a Viking is born who carries the spark of gods. Raiders, we call them. It is a name that can summon armies. Ruthless, fearless, made for battle. The moment of a Viking's death is chosen by fate. So what use have they of armor? Or of beer?
Major League Puddle Jumper, thank you. I appreciate you watching my videos. I can choose my look for this chapter. I don't really know that it matters much. So hopefully this type of live stream, even though for the most part, I'm pretty quiet just playing the game, hopefully this is the type of thing people might want to see here and there. I did look at Twitch.
Years since Apollyon came. Our people starved. And the worst of us fell on each other, like beasts. Growing fat on their own people's misery. Ragnar was one of those. Let's feast! And so,
I came down from the mountains. I joined the Warborn, and then we did something about it. We had come to do something about our people's vermin problem.
I like the knights better, but that's more of an aesthetic aspect than a gameplay aspect in general. They all more or less play pretty similarly.
Let's burn that gate down!
Yeah, so I looked at Twitch as an option, but honestly, from what I was reading by a lot of people who have been doing some Twitch stuff, apparently unless you've already kind of been established there, the service as a whole has some issues that people seem to have, and so I think I'll stick with YouTube gaming.
Burn it to the ground!
I'll get used to this type of content potentially being on my channel. My goodness. See.
That gate.
There's a lot of these guys.
Let's burn it.
My own guys are hitting me. It's kind of annoying. Was hitting B. Hurry up, there we go.
The food!
Told you.
Come! It's what we came for. Let's find the rest for our people. They had stolen their own people. Food.
Yeah, Fisher, this is not historically accurate, but it's never really claimed to be. It's definitely a fantasy game.
There's too many of them!
Go. Yeah, alternate history. Definitely an alternate history. And also not even an alternate history. I mean, let's be really clear. Like my understanding of the way this game is set up is, or the kind of setting of this game is essentially that all of these cultures live simultaneously, and in the process of living simultaneously, they
the food is life for our people. God,
they fought a war for like 1,000 years or something like that, something really ridiculous, and nothing changed in that 1,000 years except for them fighting. So, you know, you can't really call it. It's just straight fantasy. It just uses the themes of these disparate cultures as a backdrop for gameplay and all that good stuff. So, you know, I said it in one of the previous live streams, a lot of focus has been given by a lot of people on talking about how it's not historically accurate and all type of stuff.
Might have been merciful.
You know, it is what it is. I'm not going to be concerned about fantasy being historically accurate. Yeah, Not even sure if it's the same planet. That is very true. This might as well be the planet Zagnar.
Join us! This is ours now! Guard this! We will protect this. Do your worst!
Join us, Vikings!
Let's see.
In the wild, the strong feed on the weak. Yet, in our civilized world, it is the other way around. I will not allow that to continue.
Oh man, definitely getting overpowered here. Can't get rid of some of these guys. How accurate are the armors and weapons for this game? They are not accurate. Specifically, especially the swords are way too big for what they should be.
You never should have played with me! We will have enough!
There we go, finally.
Ragnar has brought us bounty!
You know, if Ubisoft had come out and said,
more than food, I had come for Ragnar.
came out and said, you know, we have done extensive research and this is, you know, this is what these cultures were like and all that. Yeah, no, that's not gonna be the case. I mean, look, I got a Viking guy here,
is feasting while his Vikings die.
and he's got horns on his helmet. And Vikings didn't have horns on their helmet. You know, that's a thing that honestly came from like the 19th century when they were preparing an opera for the Ring of the Nibelung, Wagner opera, and they based it on some of the fantasy art, you know, quote-unquote fantasy art. Fantasy art wasn't really a thing at the time, but art of one of the artists that had like Vikings depicted with horns on their helmets, and that wasn't a thing. And you know, if you claim it is, that's one thing, but this is just inspiration. No one talks, no one complains that, you know, there's historical inaccuracies in Lord of the Rings because it's not a history, and that's okay. So that's gonna be my brief rant on it, because honestly, past that, I'm not that concerned. Because I enjoy fantasy. Fantasy's fun too.
What's going on out there? face me! Come on in, then! This was what I had come for, boy!
So, why didn't it tell me to look at my moveset? I don't know.
You feed on your own people! The poor people! My heart bleeds!
Getting that happen.
You're no raider! The crows will crush the warlord! You're no leader! I can't! I wasn't going to let Ragnar get away.
Well, this is not what I expected.
Why won't you die?
I'm supposed to be chasing him down, but I'm not really catching up with him.
Burn in hell! I'll roast your bones!
It's weird because they changed the way the combat worked for this one segment. It's like not quite exactly what I would have expected. Oh, can I throw the axe at him? Oh no. Cutscene.
What you've done is wrong. You feast while all around you people starve. You and your warriors will learn to live like the rest of us. Or you will become food for crows. Child! Might as well ask me to pick up for me! We're Vikings!
So that's a no.
Valhalla.
You're in charge now. Join us. We are with you. They weren't much to look at, but they were a start.
So Ozgamuski, yeah, you say, yeah, the campaign, the story isn't all that great. Yeah, the story is kind of meh. You know, the background, kind of the concept of it is where the strengths of this game lie. Grim Soul Taker, this game is just bad, cool to watch, not my type of game. Yeah, I can kind of see that. This certainly may not be to people's liking from certain gameplay perspectives. I think from my perspective, there are other types of games I find more fun than this.
The Warborn grew. Soon, much sooner than I anticipated, only 2 warlords remained in Valkenheim. The Raider, and a vicious killer named Civ. With many of the Warborn leaders held hostage, conflict was inevitable.
What is my favorite medieval movie? Can I choose a mini-series? Because I really like Pillars of the Earth. Play Dark Souls. Yeah. A lot of people play Dark Souls. I'm not a big Dark Souls fan. I'd rather make a historically based fantasy setting than trying to pass off as historical fact. Again, no one is really trying to pass this off as historical fact. People who are doing so outside of the game makers. I mean, you might get that from Ubisoft trying to convince people as part of their advertising push, and you have terrible videos made by YouTubers who try to talk like this guy on my screen right now is what real Vikings looked like. I mean, let's be really clear. No one is really... Very few people are under the impression that this is somehow realistic. And yes, Grim Soul Taker, I am getting Kingdom Come. I actually have the special edition of that. I kickstarted it. We'll do a live stream on War of Rights. What is War of Rights? I actually don't know what that is.
Civ's work.
That's just barbaric.
I've seen you take scalps.
It's different. We'll just wait for your signal then?
War of Rights is a Civil War history game. I actually don't know a lot about it. I would be up for playing it maybe. I'd have to go check it out. I'll try to make a note of that at some point. Watch how easy this fight will end. Stunned opponents can't see their opponent's guards.
Kings and cages. Unacceptable.
Oh, they're not going to let me throw people off the edge. Interesting. Well, that time they did. Yeah, there'll probably be a 4 on or 2, and I hope that they fix a lot of the main complaints that people end up having about this game. My big one is that gameplay is great, but I actually like having a halfway decent story on a big budget title. You know, initially this game was designed to just be a multiplayer only, and the fact that they added some story to it is at least a halfway decent thing, I suppose. So I at least appreciate that they gave some attempt, but at the same time, I'd like a good story, like a really good story. I'll always use Halo as kind of an example of how you can turn a good gameplay into having a good story as well. Pillars of the Earth has too many characters. Sorry, I'm just now looking over. Pillars of the Earth has too many characters because of the book it's based on and how it plays out. The miniseries is good. The book is better.
You're born prisoners. I would free them.
As always. What are some good medieval books I'd recommend? If you've never read Michael Crichton's timeline, read Michael Crichton's timeline. If you've never read the Camelot Chronicles by Jack White, that's a must-read in my opinion. History books are always good. Anything by Dan Jones, but specifically the Plantagenets is a really, really good way to get into Dan Jones's work. The reason I like Pillars of the Earth as a mini-series is because it had so many fantastic actors in it. Break these. Yes, I can. Oh, I really shouldn't have done that. What am I supposed to be doing up there? Let's go find out. Oh, freeing the prisoner. Here we go.
Raider! We had a history.
I know it's you!
I guess that was the signal?
Oh, I'm not saying Dark Souls isn't awesome. I played Dark Souls 1 a bit, but it's not really my type of game. Mostly because I don't want to spend as much time as it takes to get really good at a game like that.
Now, the real fight has begun.
Break their bones!
what I think about Skyrim. I have not actually played Skyrim, and I know that that's kind of a terrible thing to say. I really, really loved Morrowind. And I played Oblivion some, but it was not as good. The only reason I didn't play Skyrim is because I just ran out of time when it came out. Didn't have the time for that kind of game. Hodor.
What are you doing among the Warborn?
You talk too much.
Some had numbers, but the Warborn had me.
More fight!
You'll never beat me! The Warborn are finished! You think you're better than me?
Died. Love the Historia series and can't wait for the next one. I am working on the content for the next one right now. Well, not right now. I'm playing this game right now, so I can't really claim that I'm doing that. But I do know what I'm doing it on.
The greatest warrior that ever lived.
I'm playing one of the cultures. No, I'm doing it on the Vikings. Actually, there's a specific aspect of the Vikings I find really interesting, and that's what I'm going to be doing.
You will die here, Raider!
The old ways of blood stir our people. We were united once more. It was time to free the rest of the Warborn. Stygander.
What took you so long? Finding Vikings you hadn't pissed off.
My thanks, warrior. Don't disappoint me, Jarl.
Oh, I like you.
Now, it was time to take back our birthright.
But yeah, I know what I'm doing for the next Historia. I have to make a decision before I film it whether or not I want to go buy a crane for my camera, because I'd like to do some more complex shots and do better production on it. But yeah, it's the problem is that it takes a lot of research.
The Vikings united.
A lot of research.
And so quickly. Now they turned their attention to us. I left some of my Blackstones in control of their shipyards at Valkenheim. Stygander, their new Jarl, set out to take them from us.
What do I think of the YouTube channel Man at Arms? I like that channel. It's fun to watch people do their craft. Really, anytime there is a channel that makes something, it's pretty interesting.
There are traditions among our people that run deep as stone. Our shields are as versatile as they are strong. Our swords are lethal, simple and ancient design. And a leader who does not lead the charge is no leader at all. We are called warlords, a name that is earned. We are the shield of our people. And we will not fall.
Well, the reason I say Dark Souls is not my thing is I have played the first Dark Souls. That's why it's not my thing. I have actually played it before. I should do a Historia on the 1410 Battle of Grunwald. I don't know much about it. I have to go do all the research to see if it's something I could do. Man at Arms, another show I saw in the break room that were absolutely cringeworthy. It's not that it's not cringeworthy. It's the art of making what they make that I find interesting, not their approach to Cold Steel style ridiculousness. Historia on Knights Templar Friday the 13th.
We would need ships. And I had been out of action for long enough.
I have actually, so you're actually getting ahead. I have considered doing a Knights Templar Historia, but the thing that I would find most interesting to talk about would be what happened to their armada, their lost armada. The problem is, from a historical perspective, no one really knows, so can't exactly do a Historia on that.
Odin's beard.
These Blackstones had done a poor job of fortifying our defenses.
Get to the gates, Dick.
This guy kind of sounds like John DiMaggio, the voice actor of Gears of War fame, and of course Bender from Futurama.
I needed to get that gate open, and fast.
Can block in all directions. That's kind of cool. Will actually let me do it. Please. I'm going to be fighting a lot of people here. What do you think about that N1 wannabe knight fight? Oh, is that the thing where they like supposed to have this protective armor that senses damage, and it's like a esports, not esports, it's like a MMA variant type thing? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, so if that's what you're talking about, which you just said yes, I think it's silly. It's not that it's a bad idea, but it's like almost taking a step back from where we are in HEMA, which I know they're not really HEMA, but where we are in HEMA today, we are getting away from things like sport fencing we do, and that takes it kind of like medieval fighting back to sport fencing. And then on top of that, the people they have doing it are not really, they don't really know what they're doing. So I think it's just kind of silly. Forged in Fire, yes, I do like Forged in Fire. You're absolutely right, that is where it's at.
Where's the damn gate?
I'm going the wrong way, so I should go back where I was. You have an ancestor as a Knight Templar. It's cool to know your ancestry that far back. I know that my family lineage has some roots somewhere down the line. To what extent, I don't know, but it goes to King Canute. So I know that at least that has been traced. Who had an uncle who did a lot of historical research to figure that out. Now, how the accuracy of that, I don't completely know. I don't have access to the research he did. Oh my goodness, this guy's just gonna keep hitting me.
Damn them, we're trapped!
Yeah, again, Forged in Fire, again, it comes down to, I really like watching people do their craft. It's just as fascinating to watch someone like Peter Johnson do some work, as it is watching someone who is not nearly as skilled as him, because I can't do it. They're doing some amazing stuff. Oh, they're wanting me to use the Ballista. That's annoying. I don't want to do that.
Look at the retreat!
I almost pitied those knights.
Just a lot of shooting at guys. This is really boring. See, sometimes there are segments that are interesting, and sometimes there's things like this that are just like, why do I have to do this again? Why am I shooting into my own men? I'll do two more. Good.
Odin's beard.
Bearskin helmet is beast. I like in fantasy when people are wearing. I really like in anytime people are wearing like weird animal furs and whatnot. Oh.
Those Blackstones had quite a haul.
Where did these come from?
Samurai ships, washing up all summer long, full of this junk.
The samurai!
They're weak. We outnumber them 10 to 1.
And they've had a good year! We're gonna need a fleet.
It was time for a raid.
All right. Yeah, like the Hussars with their leopard skins. Exactly. You know, if someone shows up wearing like the head of a lion or something on their head, they're very intimidating at that point. But yes, I also think furs, just in general, have a very rich look to them. So I think they add a lot of
hoping for quick spoils and perhaps the
nuance
glory
to
of victory.
an outfit, as it
the
were.
Vikings turned their attention on their neighbors across the sea. The samurai lands were guarded by an ancient sea fort, one that the Vikings believed to be poorly defended.
All right, so as Kamuski, you said this next mission is your favorite of all the Viking campaign. Well, this is going to be the last mission I'm going to do for this live stream. We'll be approaching the 2-hour mark pretty soon here. Major League Puddle Jumpers, Lord of the Rings versus Excalibur. Not sure what you mean. Movies, books, concept? What are you talking about? Movies, Lord of the Rings. I mean, really probably Lord of the Rings no matter what. Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy is an extremely good series. I love Excalibur.
Apollyon's war had taken us to the edge of extinction. But that raid reminded us of who we are. We began with a fortress on the sea. But they knew we were coming.
The gates of that fortress had worked for a century. All we had to do was get through them.
But yeah, Excalibur obviously gave a lot of influence to Lord of the Rings as a film. So you have to really appreciate what was done there. When I play a game like this, to look more at historical accuracy or story.
Those gates moved. The whole plan changed.
Well, I'm not going to look at historical accuracy for a fantasy thing. When I play Kingdom Come Deliverance, we'll have a whole other discussion about that. But yeah, a game like this, I'd be much more interested in story. Get my stamina back. They're fighting for the most part. Look at this Viking technology right here. Well, that has to be historically accurate, right? Speaking of historical accuracy.
Reach the top! Where's the damn gate controls?
Alright. With the axe that big, an axe battle will not be a fun time. You get tired very fast. Wielding an axe as big as it's displayed here, probably accurate. But yeah, an accurately made one. Not too bad, probably. I'd be worried about my fingers, though.
Push them back.
The fort's commander was Fujikyo.
Samaka! 蛮族めが 全てをぶち壊しよってこの城は落ちた。もはや兵もおらぬ。我が命もほどなく尽きよう。門を開いたのは貴様だ。その命であがれ。
You're in my way.
Makes me wonder if there were supposed to be subtitles just then.
蛮族に打ち負けるなど。貴様の始めたことだ。大した腕だ。報いを受けるがいい。なかなかやりおるわ。
Wow, this guy's owning me. Man. Yeah, turn subtitles on for translations. You'd think that'd be on by default, though. Like, you know, if they're going to have those translations necessary. Do I want immersive style or realistic? Yeah.
That day reminded our people what Viking fury could do. The Great Raid, they would call it. And it had begun.
All right. It's a pretty fun mission. I like that one. I think I'm definitely getting slightly better at the game, although I still fail sometimes.
To reach the great city of the Emperor, the Vikings now faced the mire. Here, brute force would not suffice. Skill and knowledge would be needed to cross safely. The war-born Valkyrie, Runa, was sent to find a way through.
Alright everyone, that's where we're going to leave off for now. 2 hours of gameplay is probably enough for me today. I'll get back to doing some of the stuff I need to do for some of the other videos, and also just enjoy my Saturday a bit. So I really appreciate you sticking around, watching everything. Have a good day everyone.